Basketball Podcast, Season 2. I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
And this is our basketball podcast where we recap, break down, and analyze players and teams from previous games from the previous week. Now, before we get into anything in regards of the games from the past week, 2 videos have been uploaded so far from the Snub 25R top 75 snubs list. So far, Dwight Howard was released on Monday, and Ben Wallace was released 2 days ago on Wednesday. My voice was the Dwight Howard one, and Ja, you did the Ben Wallace. 2 guys who, well, I strongly believe, and you as well, Dwight Howard has a extremely strong case to be on the top 75 list. You took more of the Ben Wallace approach, saying that he deserves the case as well, considering how dominant he was on the defensive side of the ball. But let's not go into detail about the specifics of the video. If you want to tune in, go watch it. It's a really good video, not that long either, and brings to light other players that possibly could have been on the list.
Yeah. And probably place you that majority probably forgotten about too.
Yep, that is right. And there will be 2 more released this week and for the upcoming weeks until they were out of the Oh yeah. Snub 25 list, Dwight Howard and Ben Wallace out now. So please go check it out. Yeah. But all right. Ja. It's been a week. Nope, we didn't have a podcast on Tuesday. We're probably gonna stick with this format since we're releasing videos. Yeah. So we're probably just gonna have a podcast once a week, every Friday, released around 3 p.m. Yeah. So that means there's some stuff to cover, But first, I want to go over something real quick over the most recent game, the Lakers and the Thunder game. Now, why do I want to talk about this game? Well, considering that, the last time these teams played, the Lakers blew a 26-point lead. So, they want revenge this time around. No.
Deja vu?
Well, they didn't blow a 26-point lead, but they were up by like 20. If I'm correct, right?
Yes, you are correct. They were up by a great amount of points. It was basically what they do with 2K, 21 blowout, change the game.
I think the most they were up by was 19.
Yeah.
But Westbrook, I just want to talk about Westbrook. Because if there was, he baited.
Yeah.
He baited. Okay, so first off, Lakers are down by 2. And within, I would say, 20-something seconds left.
Yeah.
He drives. Turns the ball over.
I could justify for him, though, a little bit. Yes, he did turn the ball over, and that was crucial. But I feel like that's a mistake that I feel like you kind of can't judge him against, because he felt like he had his man one-on-one and he was going to take it to the basket. And we all know Westbrook. We all know what he could do the moment he's going downhill like that. It's just that, unfortunately, when he tried to make his move, because he tried to do the over, he just lost the ball. I couldn't make a justification for that. Out of all the other times in which he had messed up with turning over the ball in situations like that, I can't really justify. But this one, it's kind of clear what did happen. But it was a big turning point for that crucial moment of the game.
See, I wouldn't have a problem, but considering that it was something that almost everybody criticizes Westbrook about, and then he does that, it gets harder and harder to defend Westbrook.
Yeah.
When he turns the ball over, and then what he's about to do, I'm about to explain what he did later on. So, free throw game. The Thunder are playing a free throw game. Meanwhile, Melo is just 3, bang. Then he hits another 3, bang. Like I said, free throw game, and the Thunder didn't make all their free throws in Lou Dort. He made all his free throws. Lakers have no timeouts. About 7 seconds left. They're down by 3. So, okay, I just said Melo just hit back-to-back threes, so he has a hot hand. So obviously try to get him the ball to tie up the game. That's option 1. Option 2 could, give it to another shooter. If, Ken Bazemore or Bradley. Bradley hit a 3 early in the game, big 3 early in the fourth quarter.
There's only 2 options there at that point.
That's option, that's option 2. Yeah. Or there's option 3. Give Westbrook the ball so he can do a pull-up.
Out of all options, which one do you think was the best option? And out of all options, which one did they choose to go with?
Well, I don't know what was the best option, but I'll tell you what was the worst option. Westbrook shooting the 3. And that's what he did. He did not pass the ball. He got the ball, went down court, and pulled up for a 3.
Yeah.
And of course, he missed.
Contested. Highly contested. What they be saying in 2K? Smudge? Or whatever they call it?
Smothered.
Smothered.
Heavily contested. I try Westbrook. This is why people get so upset with him. What am I supposed to say when he does the? What am I supposed to say? I can't say anything.
Yeah, you can't. But he doesn't really care. To him, this is just one game, one bad moment. He doesn't care.
Of course, but things like that happen. We've seen Westbrook just pull up for 3s. We've seen Westbrook turn the ball over. We've seen Westbrook, make mistakes in crucial moments. Yeah, this is not new.
Yeah, and you're right, but I feel like this was because this is just like what you brought up. This is the second time that this has happened to this Lakers team, and this is specifically Westbrook. Well, I don't remember the first game as much the first time around, but this specific game, it was mainly Westbrook decision making that has kind of cost him the game at that point. Because again, you talked about Melo having a hot hand, and you could not give it to him. He whether he want to miss or make it, in my opinion, that's the best option because he does have the hot hand. He hit 2 straight 3s for you to keep you in this game. But this is less about the Lakers. This is on the Lakers because they took their foot off the gas pedal after being up by huge points in a crucial half. But this is more about OKC. To me, for real, because if you would have seen the way that they was playing, the way that they was just carving up this Lakers defense and making them look kind of like stupid is out of control. And
like Bron's not playing. Oh, sorry.
Yes, exactly. Like Bron's not playing because the way SGA like everybody, even the Lakers legends, even came to come guard him. And everything that they was trying to do to SGA was just destroying them.
That half court 3 that he hit. It was wild.
It was just crazy because again, he would, in my opinion, during those crucial moments as they was coming back, he was the main reason. Just like how he was the first time when he came back on a 26-point lead, having a big game.
Yep.
First, he gets it. Mike Muscala sets him a pick. He helps pick and roll to Mike Muscala. He gets the N1. Misses the free throw, even though he missed the free throw on the next possession that they got. He was able to give it to him. What was it? Was it in the corner? I don't remember. He shot it. He was able to hit a big 3 in order to get
Muscala, top of the key.
Yeah, top of the key. He was able to get Muscala in order to get a big 3. And then, next thing, it was just constantly that each and every time. And that's how he was hot because the Lakers kept trying to double, triple, do anything that they can to get the ball out his hand or force him to do a turnover. And he was just poised and patient the whole time, never really bothered. And again, just like what you said with that big 3, it showed it. It showed it big time. And OKC was just connected offensively and defensively.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention that also he had another good big pass to Dort when they was trying to play the foul game.
Yeah.
Late in the fourth after Westbrook turned the ball over, I believe. But she was right to give credit to Thunder. But I just want to point out the Lakers then another embarrassing loss, blowing another lead to the Thunder, and Westbrook being at the helm at it. He wasn't fully responsible, but he plays a part.
Yes, he does.
And the Lakers, I know LeBron did not play in this game, and LeBron's probably gonna be out for like a week. Yeah, it's getting that time, Bron. It sucks to see he's getting injured more and more, but they have Westbrook and Anthony Davis, and they have a good lineup. I mean, it's still early in the season, so maybe I shouldn't overreact and all that. But these should be games they should be winning.
Yeah, no question.
Embarrassing. But all right, now to go over like any other teams that leave the games out of it, but like teams that's really impressed you or teams that's been really disappointing. And why is it the Boston Celtics?
It's crazy that you bring up the Boston Celtics because for some reason, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because of the new coaching change whatsoever and needing to make adjustments, but this team has just been up and down. And more specifically, Tatum's just been up and down. I don't know. It's like one moment he's showing why he could be the best scorer in the league in the future. And then another moment he's just showing like he should be working at UPS sometimes. Like I don't know what it is. Like like I don't know what it is. He's going cold in the wrong moments in the games in which like are really important because some of these games that they've been playing in is to show that thing that of where their potential is compared to these other teams in terms of should they be in later on in the season when it comes near playoff time, in my opinion. And he has yet to just I don't know. It's just weird and it's so and yet
cold. He has been cold. When I say cold, he's been inconsistent and definitely inefficient.
Yeah,
really inefficient. And it's been an up and down for him for the start of the season. And even though they got a good win against a very good Heat team that's been playing really good basketball, they got a good win against the Heat team last night. Tatum struggled again.
Yeah, he struggled, and he before that fourth quarter, he was like 0 of 8 from the field. He was scoreless up until that. Well, it just reminds you of the bubble because wasn't he scoreless up until a certain point in the bubble? When he won against that same team who he went against last night. But but like it's like Marcus Smart called it out. I'm not gonna lie. Marcus Smart.
No. Say what you said when I said that. Say what you said. Say what you said about Smart. Don't try to play. Don't try to be his friend now.
No. He did call it out, but let's be honest. Who else you gonna depend on? Oh, you gonna depend on Schroeder to shoot that three?
Smart. Depend on Smart.
Look, don't get me wrong. Smart has hit some big time shots, but at the end of the day, when it comes out to closing moments, I'm going with Brown or Tatum, regardless. That's the statement I made. That's the point I was making to you. There's nobody else who's truly, honestly had that crazy clutch gene like those two guys on that team. But again, going back to the fact he did call it out because of the fact that Tatum and Brown being who they are, teams are going to know that the ball is going to be in their hand most of the time, and they got to find ways to sometimes be unpredictable. And I think you're going to probably get into it, but specifically with that Wizards game, what was Tatum doing in that Wizards game? What was he doing in that Wizards game? I really want to know. That's the reason why I didn't mean to disrespect him that deep because it's not that deep with the UPS stuff. But what was he doing in that game against Washington? Turning over the ball, throwing it out of bounds, going into the paint when they know they need a three, and that passing out of it. Ended up getting Jaylen Brown stripped by KCP. Like, and mind you, let's bring up the fact that Boston was actually cold from the three, and yet they was able to still go into a double overtime game against the Wizards. That says probably some good things, but also some bad things also about that Celtics team. And I don't know what has been going on, but I feel like Jaylen Brown, out of those two stars, Jaylen Brown has been constantly consistent on that level. I don't know where Tatum is. He got to get back to it. He is going to get back to it, but he I don't know. At this point.
I'm surprised you went so far back to the Wizards game. You should have mentioned the Bulls game.
Well, that's the point where you got to talk about everybody on the Celtics team because
that's just an effort thing.
Yeah.
1 rebound. 1 defensive rebound in the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah. Only 1 defensive rebound.
You can't teach that.
And mind you, yeah. Now go on, finish.
I was just saying you can't. What was you gonna say?
Exactly. You said they can't do that, but what makes it worse is the fact that they had like a 20+ lead going into that fourth quarter. And he came out there, mind you. I remember because I don't even think I came to the game late, but all I know is I see the Bulls getting blown out, who I'm going to talk about next, by the way, also. But the Bulls are getting blown out, and then next thing, all I know, as I look, I'm like, oh, shoot, the Bulls are actually up. Like, what the hell is going on here? I was like thinking, like, but I'm going to get into the Bulls, but yeah, the fact that the Celtics lost in that kind of fashion, only 1 defensive rebound, is like, that cannot happen. That's just a really bad look on you. That's just a really bad look, especially in a game in which you're up that big against a really good team in the Bulls, and you blow it away. Concerns have to be made. Concerns have to be made for sure.
Yeah, but hey, Celtics, they now on a 2-game winning streak. They beat the Magic a few nights ago, and then they beat the Heat, who have been playing some really good basketball. So I give them some credit to the Celtics for that, even though Brown and Tatum really didn't have an efficient game, but it was inefficient from both sides of the ball. So maybe these 2 wins, especially the one against the Heat, it can really push them up, maybe get them out of their kind of inconsistent ways, get them more in the winning column, get Tatum up there more, and get this team chemistry going.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we'll see what happens down there in Boston. We'll keep an eye on it. But you mentioned the Bulls.
Sir, I you know what? My dog, because I'm happy for them. Because you know why? When the season started, they didn't play against. They went on to a 4-0 start, which we loved. But of course, those questions came in, talk about the teams that they were going against was not really there. And then the whole big game against the Knicks went down, and then they got up to the closing moments, and y'all kind of clown my guy. For shooting that air ball contested, hesitating and stuff. But let me tell you something. The Bulls basically, ever since then, has shown that they're not a fluke.
Lost to the Sixers.
Sorry. Don't do that. And Steph Curry, I got a word for you too, but don't do that. But ever since then, the Bulls have shown that start that they went off on was not a fluke, regardless of win or loss. Like, they've been playing consistently, especially their defense have been showing to be really great and what could help push them. But more importantly, DeRozan and LaVine just been constantly taking over. More specifically, my guy DeRozan. You guys clowned him with that air ball. And ever since, he just came back just shining. 37 against Utah, balling. Then he comes into the Celtics game. Again, mind you, down by over 20. Him and LaVine, who started off that game cold, but eventually also got his rhythm and was able to dominate. But DeRozan, more specifically, able to take over that game. 32 points against the Sixers, even though that they lost. Thanks a lot to Stephen Curry making that game-daggering shot.
He looked like Steph, but that wasn't Steph.
I said Steph. I mean Seth. Seth.
Yeah.
Steph Curry. He still dominated that game too. Another 30-point game. DeRozan and more importantly, again, with LaVine showing that, again, he's the talented scorer that he is. These guys were able to keep on keeping the Bulls up there, along with the fact of the whole team being connected with the way they're flowing on both ends of the floor. They're a great 2-way team, and they're showing that the start that they have went on is not a fluke. So I just want to get that out there. I'm happy for my dog. You know what I mean? Again, y'all clown my boy. My boy just came up shining. And I know you probably got some joke to say about him too, talking about, better than what he did against LeBron, but so what?
I'm just saying all that. I lost the sack.
Whoa. Chill, bro.
Seth Curry did that.
No, don't do that, because we actually nearly came back because they was down huge in that game too. Okay, they wasn't down huge, but they was down by double digits. They was down by double digits, and you know that.
Yeah. Well, listen, the Bulls, yes, they've been playing some good basketball despite the recent loss against the Sixers. They've been playing well, and you should be happy about how they've been playing. You should be really happy. I came from.
DeRozan, my favorite player.
And well, we mentioned DeRozan. You know, I only talk about the team they used to play for. Them boys down there, up there in Canada, they back.
Yeah,
The Raptors,
I was
the
actually
Toronto Raptors. Now they have been playing some good basketball.
Yeah, man. They kind of shocked me. Like, cause again, I'll be honest. I'm not really focused on people. Even though I'm Canadian, I'm not focused on anybody up north.
But he's not Canadian. He's not Canadian.
Yes, I am. But they have been playing.
A Canadian is not wearing that hat and coming on a podcast with a tank top. He's not Canadian.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
This is a Bronx nigga. Through and through. This is not a Canadian.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Bronx in Canada. So as I was saying, like, they just been shocking people again, and more specifically, their rookie Scotty Barnes, man, just been straight up balling. I believe
guy. Talking so much about him.
No, Chris Duarte's my guy.
Chris Duarte, you died, but Scotty Barnes, you've been praising him a lot too.
Yeah, man, because he's just showing stride that he could be a potential star in this league and probably the franchise player for this team for years to come. And again, Fred VanVleet showing off his offensive capabilities as a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And, this Raptors team, but more importantly, is just their defense. Their defense is what has been like keeping them in there and triggering for them to be in such close games to eventually either lose close or win it. So yeah, this Raptors team is they have something to prove. They've been shocking people. They have something to prove for real.
Yeah, shocked my Knicks in the Garden after we was up by 15 in the first half. Then came out, they know it's shooting the lights out. OG Anunoby, VanVleet. I mean, yeah, they're a good team. Yeah. It's good to see the Raptors playing some good basketball. Took it last year, it was, but they were in Toronto. They was playing all the way the whole season. It's still early, like I said, but it's nice to see them over 500, playing some good games, playing competitively, and beating some good teams as well.
Yeah.
But a team that hasn't been doing so great, almost like the Celtics, the Atlanta Hawks. What's going on with Atlanta? Trae Young, Mr. Inconsistent, inefficient Steve Nash. He's putting up numbers, but stat padding. He's new stat padding. And I don't know what's going on in Atlanta. It's like last night they lost against the Jazz, who didn't have Donovan Mitchell, and Jordan Clarkson torched them in the second half.
Yeah.
It's just like what's going on? Where's that fire? They're 4-5. Where's the energy? Where's the fire? They're not a 4-5 team. At least for talent wise.
Yeah, talent wise, they're not a 4 or 5 team. They're way better than that. But it's they're still the underdog, and I feel like they still got an underdog mentality. I think that there's just teams that are just because again, with Trae Young being that main factor, and again, you have talked about it a lot, but the rules have hit different for Trae. And Trae is the starting engine for this team. And it's with him, even though he's putting up his numbers, you just said he's being inconsistent with it.
Inefficient.
Inefficient. I say inconsistent. Inefficient with it. So it's just the team follows how he goes. And even though they've been playing well, it's just it's just not having been up to that mode that you want them to be at. Which I think they're gonna. I'm not gonna stress over that though, because again, it's still early in the season. I think if we was in the middle of the season or something, we kind of panic, and which I'll be fine. And I know you still looking up for that Christmas Day game coming up against the Knicks.
Waiting.
But I think it's just that. I think when Trae starts to be more consistent, efficient, and starts to play better, then I think the whole team is going to take it up to a different level. Because again, he's the main enforcer of this team.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I just wanted to talk about them for a little bit and get your idea on why they haven't been playing up to standard so far. All right, but a team that's playing up to some people's standards and far past your standards. The dark horse, so to speak, that you didn't have as a dark horse. You know what I'm talking about. You talked about his brother. Let's talk about the two-time not reigning, but two-time MVP, unanimous, the greatest shooter of all time.
I said that they were dark horses. I said they weren't championship contenders.
You said it could potentially be dark horse, but they're not your dark horse.
Okay, yeah, that is true.
And you doubted them and you disrespected them. You know what I'm saying? And right now, their only losses to them boys, well, not Dylan, but the Grizzlies. And they just got a good win against a good Hornets team and playing some really good basketball.
Yeah.
You know, even though they kind of steeping down a little bit, but I think they're going to get back up. Miles Bridges might be an all-star this year. He keeps up his numbers. Same with LaMelo. But, you know, these Warriors that you hated on, that you wanted to attack their fans and all that, saying that everybody said, you know, high expectations and all that, they playing some good basketball and there's no Klay Thompson in sight. Jordan Poole is doing this thing. Draymond Green, the player that you hate, you know, playing his role.
Yeah. The Warriors are kind of making me look stupid right now on my own pod, but it's cool. Yeah, they have been playing great basketball. Again, they got a good system down there, but again, no matter what, I'm still going to say that they could potentially be dark horse contenders, but I still don't look at them as championship contenders. Again, I still feel like a lot of these teams have gotten better. Yes, they have been good teams, but they also have beaten kind of like, you know, in between teams, you know. So it's just like, you know, and it's early in the season, so let's not get hyped. But again, but you heard me say, even though I have hated in a way, I never ever said that they was going to be out of the playoffs or anything. I did say that they're going to be good. You cannot lie. I always said that they're still going to be good.
Yeah, you did.
I never ever said he was going to be horrible or horrendous. But I just said, all I'm saying is these other teams, these star-studded teams have just, well, not star-studded, but these really good teams have just got at a better point in which they could potentially challenge them each and every night, specifically when the postseason come around. I know y'all want to clown me so bad, but hey,
it's still early. You're exactly right. It's still early. Let's just sit on it. Let's wait. Let's come back next week, see what they can do next week and the weeks following that. Yeah. When they go to state, I believe in y'all. I believe. Matter of fact, I want y'all to go to the championship. I would want it. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't have no care in the world if y'all do that. Yeah, honestly.
Get beat by Miami.
If Miami's there.
If Miami's there, and if Golden State then they both there, then yeah. Get beat by Miami. That's it.
Okay, you have faith in Miami. When they lose to Boston in the first round, I'll say All right. Let's get into some predictions for today's set of games. Not that many games, but hopefully, some good ones. Okay. First, Nets, Pistons.
Nets.
Yes, arcade. Nets. Spurs, Magic.
Spurs.
I got the Magic. Cole Anthony's been playing really good.
Yeah, but you know, nothing.
Okay. Oh, no. Grizzlies or Wizards?
Wizards. I got the Wizards with that one. Not to go against the Grizzlies. They've been playing great. I'm just saying.
You know who I'm picking. My boys in Memphis. Hey, you know I'm making my guy for all my guys in Memphis. Cavs and the Raptors. LeBron's not there. Neither DeRozan and Lowry.
I'm gonna go with Scottie Pippen. Scottie.
Yeah, you don't want to go with him that one after he missed. Colin. I'm going my guys. I'm going with Cleveland. ESPN 7:30. New York Knicks battling up against the reigning, defending NBA champions, Milwaukee Bucks.
I'm gonna go with the Knicks because I think the Bucks, since their injury situation, they haven't been
Yeah, the Bucks haven't been playing too amazing. You know what I'm saying? Giannis just say they gotta win. I thought we was tanking.
Yeah, you should say that.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Do your thing, Giannis. And that's why I got the Bucks, even though if the Bucks win, that means the Knicks gonna be on a 3-game losing streak. But I got the Bucks. The Clippers going up against the Timberwolves. Their last matchup was just a few days ago, and the Clippers won. What do you got in this game?
Yeah. I got the my
pick your guys. Yeah, pick your guys so they can lose again.
Nah, I'm gonna go with the Clippers. But and real quick, speaking of the Clippers, I just want to get into PG, man, because I think PG has went under the radar a little bit this season. He's just he's just been straight up balling. He's been, I don't know what it is, probably because of the 75 list or whatsoever, or the fact that people have been just counting them out because Kawhi's been injured. But PG is the main reason why the Clippers are back into some kind of hunt to start off the season. And he's just been straight up balling, averaging 29 with 50% shooting as a forward. As a small forward and 40% from three. He's been straight balling. He's been the main focus. Meanwhile, while everyone else on the Clippers have been kind of just up and down here and there. So yeah, we got to give a shout out to PG, man. Because again, speaking of OKC from earlier, yeah, you saw that comeback. He was looking like LeBron out there, bro. Doing
PG.
Yes, PG was looking like LeBron out there with everything he was doing, facilitating, rebounding, playmaking, hitting clutch shots.
And so, PG fine under the radar because everybody hate him. And they don't want to give him respect, all because of what happened 2 years ago.
Exactly. Even though that bubble playoffs was bad, I think ever since then people have constantly tried to throw disrespect on his name like he hasn't been doing vibes ever since.
Does it surprise you?
No, it does not surprise me.
We realize people still talk shit about LeBron after his final performance against the Mavericks that happened in 2011. It doesn't surprise me people to hold this grudge. PG is balling out. What?
MJ to go.
PG is balling out, and he deserves some credit. He deserves a lot of credit. That's why I'm going with the Clippers. He's been balling out. Yeah, sorry, D-Lo. Next up, ESPN, 10 o'clock. The Pelicans going against the Warriors.
Oh man, if it was any other team, I would choose them, but it's the Pelicans. So I got the Warriors.
So you hate it. Yeah, I got the Warriors too.
Pelicans just been horrendous, I swear, man.
Pacers and Trailblazers.
I'm gonna go with Indiana. They got Karras back, and they look like they want to get into a flow. So I got the Indiana Pacers, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I got Indiana. Damn.
You want to speak about him real quickly?
Nah, not yet. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Right now. For right now, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
25. He looked like he should be on our subs list, man.
That was disrespectful. And lastly, the Hornets going up against the Sacramento Kings. That should be a fun little game if De'Aaron Fox actually plays well.
Yeah, J.A. is better than you. Sorry, De'Aaron. I got the Hornets though. I got the Hornets winning this.
Yeah, I got the Hornets as well. Two young teams with, well, one potentially a bright future. Seeing like the Kings had a bright future for the past 15 years. So okay, I'm not gonna really say that. But yeah, I got the Hornets.
Yeah.
But all right, Ja, let's wrap things up. You have any final thoughts on anything?
Actually, yeah, real quickly, I just want to say also shout out to the Jazz. Even though it's been kind of weird, they're still having a great season. I don't think people are talking about them that much. I don't know, it's because the way that they have won has been weird, as it's been close, or it looked like they shouldn't have lost, but they have still been playing great. Donovan Mitchell has still been balling. This whole team is still showing that they are a dangerous team in the Western Conference, just like they did last year. So shout out to them.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I have a feeling the Jazz will be this good though. They can be the number one seed in the East, and I'm not gonna be like, wow, look at the Jazz. I mean, because they just did that last year. You give credit to the Jazz, we can give credit to the Philadelphia 76ers. They're 7-2. They're first in the East. All the drama that's been surrounding them, they haven't let that in the way of winning.
Because if Ben was on the team, they would just be losing right now.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry. I'll take it. I take that back. Sorry, Ben. I still like your
respect.
game.
Have some respect.
I still like your game, Ben. I'm sorry.
You sure? Because you just said that.
Nah, I do.
Wait, yeah. Shout out to the Sixers. And 7-2. I mean, some of the teams they beat weren't that impressive, but they did just beat your Bulls. So, gotta give them some credit for being first in the Eastern Conference through the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But all right, that is all. Make sure, please go watch the Snub 25 1 and 2 Dwight Howard and Ben Wallace out now. More to come in the following weeks. 2 videos a week from the Sub 25 list until the end, until we reach all the players that we wanted to talk about. But for now, thank you guys for watching today's podcast. Make sure to tune into our next podcast next week. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, support channel, and give us feedback, all that good stuff.
And also tune into all of our social medias.
That's right, Instagram and TikTok. And of course, once again, I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
And this is the Mind of Basketball Podcast.
Season number